So, a quick word on Stoicism. Backwoods. You, sir, are my new bottom bitch. Oh yeah, and that's a good thing. I don't know if you hang out with people of a certain culture, but the bottom bitch is the best. Is actually good, believe it or not. I don't think for a moment you're a bitch. You're definitely on the zombie team. If for no other reason than to tell me about how to plant the persimmon tree. But anyway, what the hell was I saying? Shoot. That whole persimmon tree blew my mind. Oh, where was it? Hang on. Bear with me. It'll come around. Stoicism. You mentioned the no crying in baseball and how it's important to be a stoic. Word to the wise, and maybe Shafe and his degree could help us out with this. Stoicism, in my experience, in my personal experience, and it could just be my own personal weakness. Stoicism, just because you're not feeling something and just because you're not acting a certain way within a certain situation, doesn't mean that there aren't consequences to the environmental inputs that you're experiencing during that. My personal experience, I'm going to share with you a little bit. Even though, so I was working, and I had, I'd only had a couple years experience, and I had gone from being in the shop to working the office at the management level. And I did the job, but I'd feel stress. I wouldn't express it, but I would feel stress. I'd do my job. I'd feel the stress. I would go above and beyond my job in an attempt to alleviate this feeling that I had near constantly in the pit of my stomach, that I wasn't doing a good enough job. Again, not expressing it, not yelling at anybody, not snapping at anybody. Did it at the one place for about 2 years. Left that job because it was that was actually in the parts, and I wanted to get back over onto the service end, kind of what I'm better at. And no offense to anybody watching this that does parts, but parts is just boring and stupid. I missed service. I missed working with the people. I missed the challenge of diagnostics. So got the gig in the aftermarket, managing the shop. And again, that feeling of stress, only it was multiplied. It wasn't just my performance. It was my performance, plus my technician's performance, plus my owner's expectations, plus financial demands, plus customer expectations. Still had the feeling though, like just this constant adrenaline was pumping through me. And again, limited outward expression at first. Worked through lunch. No change. Worked late. No change. However, working late allowed me to get a little more of my own personal tasks done. A little bit different. Felt better doing that a little bit. But really no change. The result, after near on 5 constant years of that, no vacation, long weekends here and there, but no true proper vacation. And it all came to a head, and it got to where I couldn't maintain and observe stoicism. The expression came out from like all of my pores. I was a wreck. Still dealing with the results of that. Thankfully, I'm around friends and family and loved ones, but what I'm trying to say is we can't just say, look into the Stoicism. Need to kind of take a page from, I think Shafe actually recommended it. It was either Shafe or Italian Lad 69. It's not just enough to say, like, be like the Stoics. You got to dig in there and truly understand their process, because it's not just the we're definitely going to not express our anger in the moment. We're going to maintain control, because that's where strength lies. But some of the writings of Marcus Aurelius, he gets into the nuts and bolts of that Stoicism, and I would say that's healthy. I don't think it's going to work for everybody. There's people that's for, and then there's people that need to be able to express their heart. Many of us growing up, our fathers, we end up growing up not thinking that our fathers love us, when in fact they're expressing every ounce of love that they possibly can when they go to work every day, when they sacrifice their time to do what they can to keep us sustained, keep a roof over our heads, to keep food on the table. So he missed a football game or two, The question I would always get would be, are you starting? And how is that supposed to make me feel? Like, well, if you're not going to start, then what's the point of me going to your football game? Threw him for a loop one time. I'd be like, well, sir, yes, I special teams. So, I don't know. I'd like to unpack this Stoicism thing, because I'd like to know what other people's tricks are. I know a big one for, and this is just going off of Marcus Aurelius, man made famous by the Russell Crowe movie Gladiator, smothered by a pillow by his son, Joaquin Phoenix. But I'm going to assume we're practicing Stoicism when we're not on video screaming at the camera, because that's not very stoic. And you're not screaming at the camera, Backwoods, but Shafe is screaming at the camera. And I'm interested in how we're dealing with it. How does this thing unpack for us? I'll start. So Marcus Aurelius talks about vacation, I think, unless I dreamed this. He said the biggest problem with vacation is you bring yourself with you. So you take all your problems with you, you take the situation with you, and you never even deal with it. So my takeaway from that, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, take a moment. Let's just imagine a moment, and you're given very terrible situation. Let's say a tree falls and lands on the side of your house, rips the roof all apart. You got to get some things done. Is it going to be raining soon? Did you lose power? Is there a fire? Is everybody safe? Definitely not in all that order. Obviously, it's safety first, but I'm just riffing. So bear with me. Doesn't do you any good to get mad or upset just yet. You're going to feel adrenaline, and that's good. That's good. You're going to need the quick action. You're going to need the energy. However, that adrenaline is depleting you. It's pulling from somewhere, so it's only going to last so long. So know that there's a half-life to this. Know also, your wife is upset. Your kids are scared. You're upset. You're scared. Somewhere in places you don't want to talk about. That was a Colonel Jessup quote. That's a inside thing from a conversation we're having as an aside. Anyway, those feelings that you're putting off are still in there somewhere. Those chemicals are being stored somewhere up in your brain. And I believe that you get things taken care of, you get an immediate, and you ignore and override in the moment, but you need to circle back and you need to unpack those situations somehow, either through journaling. I think journaling works good for me because what happens for me is you end up upset and freaked out and you can't even remember why, when in reality, it's because the stupid tree falling on your roof set up a little campfire and is living rent-free up in your brain. So that's my thoughts. I'd like to kick this stoicism thing around, and I'd really like to see it, to see everybody's opinion on it. And, so Bonnet Mom and Sned and Shafe and Corey and Italian Lad and Mixmaster Mike and Metal Memory and Landshark 22 and Irish and Shall Not Be Infringed and Rachel Space. What's up with this stoicism? B-Team Hooligan, Roller Podger, Haas USMC. Is stoicism the way? Let me know. Or not. I really don't give a shit. I'm gonna go to work.